Glazer family selling their shares in Manchester United. Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, the problem with it is it's not the big two Glazers that are looking to sell their shares, that being Avram and Joel Glazer. All of the latest reports on this news that came out from Bloomberg this morning and is now being put out by Reuters as well. This is massive and could have a massive impact on INEOS, Manchester United, the stadium, the investment. Where is it going to go from here? Who is selling them? All the information coming up in this video. Get into the comment section. Give me your thoughts on this, everybody. Are you excited as a Man United fan? Is this actually the sign that you needed going forward, that the club actually could come back with the Glazers selling up? What happens to the debt? All of that. Get into the comment section and give me your thoughts on this, everybody. I wanted to do a specific piece on this rather than going through it on Forever United TV with all the other news around transfers and whatnot, because this is a story on its own. This is absolutely massive. It needs its own real headline, really, this. And just to go through everything that has been said and bring you completely up to date, according to Bloomberg, some members of the Glazer family are now seriously looking into selling part or all of their ownership in Manchester United. The Glazers have owned the club for more than 20 years. Their time in charge has been marked by strong fan protest, heavy debt from the 2005 takeover, and constant criticism. Discussions about selling began with individual family members thinking about cashing out. These talks are now growing as they try to convince other family members to sell as well. However, no final decision has been made and the family remains split on what to do. This development comes after the family sold 28.9% stake in the club to Sir Jim Ratcliffe's INEOS group in 2024. With Manchester United back in the Champions League and potential major stadium upgrades on the horizon, the timing could draw strong interest from serious buyers. So, this being said, there is something in this in terms of what the deal is around the Glazers selling part of their shares to INEOS. And just to bring back an old story as well from Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic on meetings that had happened and agreements in place with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers and what's going to happen next year, 2027. The agreement between Ratcliffe and the Glazers has a clause that changes in February 2027. The Glazers can sell their shares and Ratcliffe shares for whatever price they deem fair. It might accelerate what Ratcliffe wants to do on the pitch. If he's thinking he needs to win the title or show they could compete so that the Glazers don't think it's working and rip it away from them. If it's not successful under INEOS's guidance, then the Glazers might try and pull the rug from under their feet and sell the shares at whatever price they feel is fair and just come away. They've already got billions out of Manchester United. They're not bothered about selling under the INEOS's feet. And maybe this is going to accelerate INEOS's plans to invest into Manchester United. Now, this talk has come about. This isn't the main players. The problem with this for Manchester United fans is it's not Joel, it's not Avram. They're the ones that have been bleeding this club. They're the ones that have been the main protagonists in everything that the Manchester United fans hate around this movement from the Glazers. They have run us into the ground. They have saddled us with debt. They have not improved anything, not invested one penny of their own money into the football club. And there is a chance for INEOS here, if some of the family are willing to sell their shares, and let's not forget there are other siblings involved with shares in Manchester United, not just Avram and Joel. So if there is a divide, this could put pressure on the big two to potentially sell as well. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen soon, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in February if they do get cold feet and feel like there is a chance to get out now and get as much money as they possibly can while United are hot. Say, for instance, the United have a good season, then United stocks might be high. Sell. Get rid of them. They can do that if they want. But INEOS will probably be on top of this in terms of wanting to buy up more of Manchester United. Or, like the reports have said, this could bring in other investors in to help fund the stadium. Is there a sister company with INEOS? Can they get somebody else in within their group to come in and buy this? Is there an avenue in for them in this? I think this is the best way to look at it, because the last thing that we need is some of the Glazers still being there, INEOS being there, and then another party coming in and owning part of Manchester United. It just adds more chefs to the kitchen and confuses things in terms of big decisions that need to be made. The best outcome out of this, and some people might not even like this, but my opinion on this is the best outcome you could look at here is that INEOS buy more shares and it's fully run by INEOS. They are trying to run Manchester United properly. They are trying to run Manchester United as a football club and not a business, or a business that has nothing to do with football, which is what Man United were doing before. And that's where the Glazers ran us into the ground. This could be significant. Added to that as well, you've also got the other news which has been going around, which coincides with this a bit, which is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe obviously selling his part of Nice, selling Nice, his other football club that he owns. And the money from that is reportedly going straight into everything that he wants to do at Manchester United. Not directly, but he wants to fully concentrate on Manchester United. But could that directly be going in? It's valued around about 200 to 300 million, Nice. And if he has got that sort of money around, then maybe he could buy more shares in Manchester United. Their stake just being under 30% at the moment. If they can make more of that and bring in more ownership of Manchester United, then they would have more of a say on what happens with the stadium. They could then obviously move things around. If they become majority shareholders at Manchester United, which I think is the ultimate goal for INEOS, then they have the say on everything. They have the final say and they can do whatever they want. They don't have to report to the Glazers. The question is here now is that, are the shares that the other Glazer siblings and what they have, are their shares enough to give perhaps a priority, an overall majority to INEOS over the other two siblings, which is Joel and Avram? They don't want to let go of Manchester United. They like the prowess, they like the stature, they like having that as something that they own. It's embarrassing, really, how they're using Manchester United. It's like a toy to them. Will the siblings and everybody else from underneath Joel and Avram have enough there to sell that gives the majority to INEOS, perhaps? I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody does know exactly how these shares are split. We're looking at this from the outside and looking at it as fans. We can only hope that this is the case. We can only hope that the Glazers are actually thinking about selling, because the more that they sell, the less power they have. The less power they have, the better Manchester United can be run. That just means that they won't have as much of a say. And as much as you might not like INEOS at the moment, the only reason my fans, I don't think, like INEOS is because they're in bed with the Glazers. If they eventually buy them out, does that change fans' minds about INEOS? And that's the question I want to ask at the top end of this show and get your opinions on in the comment section here on Adam FC, everybody. Because would this change your mind about INEOS if they bought out the Glazers? This is an opportunity that is coming around, and it's not something that's going to be pushed down the road or kicked down the street for a long period of time and discussed, because in February, the decision might be taken away anyway. So give me your thoughts on this and this news. Are you excited? Do you think this is encouraging for Manchester United fans? Let me know. Get into the comment section, everybody, and I'll catch you all in the next Adam FC video. Like, share, and subscribe. See you all later.